You're now tuned in to another ColeLogic experience. We still shout out to the queen. We still here. We made it this far. Shout out to if you made it this far. The podcast that I'm on with my guys. Y'all check that out on other digital streaming platforms and our Patreon if you made it this far. That being said, let's get started with the Blackman's Guide to Understanding the Blackwoman. If you've been following us, you understand that we are in chapter 15. If it seems like I'm a little quiet right now, it's because I am. My roommate's sleeping and it's late. But I want to be productive since I'm up. That being said, chapter 15 is about her sex. So, let's get right into it. Let's dive right in. The black woman spends a great deal of her days and nights being aware of her sexuality. She throbs nearly involuntarily. As a result of all she has learned from other black women and girlfriends her age, she is impressed that her sex is a bona fide part of leverage she can wield against a black man to get her way. She will use her sexuality to snare a black man and will misrepresent the intensity of her sexual desire to get his attention. She lays sexual traps for him and behaves blatantly like a trollop. A trollop. Should I look up what a trollop is? Let's look up what a trollop is real quick. I ain't never heard of a trollop. Oh. It's a woman considered sexually promiscuous. Or a prostitute. That's a woman. That was another definition. A woman of vulgar and discourteous disposition is what Wiki says. Interesting. She lays sexual traps for him and behaves blatantly like a trollop. When she is alone with the black man she is trying to lure. She is cunning and plots to get him in bed because she believes that once she has sex with the black man, it will give her certain rights to his life. Since she connects sex with love, when she deceptively persuades the black man to sleep with her, she thinks that she has convinced him to love her, or at least show a measure of love that she thinks is bonding. Since she is such a pseudo-romantic creature, she cannot be trusted in the presence of strange men for a long length of time because she is always open for a line, especially if it's one telling her how beautiful and desirable she is. She believes anything a black man tells her if he looks good to her physically. She is easily flattered, but will pretend that compliments are not really important to her and have no bearing on whether or not she is attracted to a black man. Without exception, if a black man pursues her long enough, his compliments, flowers, phone calls, and the like. Oh no. Sorry about that. Without exception, if a black man pursues her long enough with compliments, flowers, phone calls, and the like, she will ultimately go to bed with him. She enjoys the special attention and wants to believe that he will compliment and admire her forever. Many black men she meets or sees walking down the street are envisioned as her lover. For a split second, she imagines having sex with him, considers how he might act in bed, and either lines him up for follow-up or rejects him as anything other than a friend. She gives off body language that sends unspoken messages translated to mean the possibility, however remote, of sex is being considered and potential exists. I'm gonna read that again. She gives off body language that sends unspoken messages translated to mean that the possibility, however remote, of sex is being considered and potential exists. The black woman claims that the black man is such a dog because in her view he will always go for the promise of sex from a woman, even if he does not know her very well. She believes he is famous for one-night stands and will sneak off and have an illicit encounter and then return to her as if nothing ever happened. She hates this potential in the black man and calls him a low-down hound for this kind of behavior. She sees herself as above this kind of animalistic practice. Sex means more to her than that, or so she says. The truth of the matter is that the black woman practices the exact same type of behavior if given the right opportunity. She will sneak around more cleverly than the black man, which is why she doesn't get busted as often. She may have no problem trying to have two men at the same time if she thinks her main man is fooling around with another woman behind her back. I'm sorry. That line right there made me think about a couple weeks ago. Before we knew that the Quavo and Sweetie relationship was severed. In order for her to announce that, she went on Justin LaBoy's show on Revolt, and he asked her if your man is doing everything he's supposed to do, who would you choose for him to have a threesome with? And she was like, because I love him so much, I would let him choose what man he's gonna be running the train on me with. And right after that, they broke up. Well, not they broke up, but we learned that they were broken up. And she exclaimed that she kind of threw a little subtle hint out there that he was cheating and fooling around. Which, bruh, this was written in 89. 89, bruh. It's like it's all coming to life as I read it. It's a while. But anyway, she will try to pay him back by having another man even if she doesn't really want to. She will try to pay him back by having another man even if she doesn't really want to. She just cannot allow him to be one up on her. Plus, she enjoys the feeling it gives her to see him carrying on his normal life without knowing what she has done or is doing. She tries to compete in the fashion, although it may turn her life into chaos trying to live a double because she does not have the capability to love two or more men at the same time. She certainly cannot be a woman to two men at the same time, so one of the men she is dealing with is purely for fornication purposes. She will go to bed with one man on Friday, another one Saturday, and the following Monday or even the same night. And she still pretends to be outraged and shocked about the black man's deviation with another woman. Her double standard is built on the falsehood and an image she thinks she has to preserve about the vulnerability of womanhood. Part of her falsehood is her belief that the black man desires sex more often than she does, so she can never admit to him or herself that her own sex drive is a powerful motivating factor in her life and decisions as well. She brags on her sexual conquest in the same way the black man is rumored to brag on his. She will explain to her friends in great detail about her activities in bed with the black man. She especially likes to tell about the size of his penis, what he's saying while copulating, his stroke, and whether or not he performs oral sex well. They go into a minute by minute, blow by blow description about the encounter. If he does any oddity, she calls him nasty or other horrible names, and she and her friends laugh at him. It is a rare black woman who does not tell about her private sexual life with the black man. So if a black man has a woman who is a best friend or several close friends, So if a black man has a woman with a best friend or several close friends, he can be sure that they know about all of his bedroom actions, down to the most intimate detail. However, she only vaguely confesses her own part or tells what she did. Black women do not ask each other what they do in bed. They only discuss what he does. Another highly deceptive activity she takes part in is to have sex with the man and pretend by her sounds or words that it feels better than it does. If she really wants the man, she will continue to mislead him about how wonderful libido and then talk about how he turns her off when he does this or that. She won't explain to the black man what makes her feel good and may not even tell him when it's painful. She thinks it is something she has to endure. She doesn't want to hurt his feelings. She tolerates the pain without flinching, pretends to have an orgasm, reach a climax, for fear if she tells him the truth she might lose him. However, if he does not satisfy her sexual craving, she will seek out and receive sexual gratification with another man or woman. Some of them are in marriages or relationships which last several years Some of them are in marriages or relationships which last several years and never reveal her dissatisfaction about their sex life. She claims that her lacking sex life is unimportant as long as he takes care of the bills, is a father to the children, and remains married or with her. She secretly hopes that one day he will figure it out on his own and do what she wants him to do. This hardly ever happens, and if it does, she becomes suspicious that he learned from another woman, which in most cases he has. Nevertheless, he is charged with ineptitude and for not satisfying her sexually. She will also use sex as a weapon against the black man. It is her most useful tool, she thinks. If he angers or displeases her, she will automatically go into sexual shutdown. It is a way to communicate her unhappiness with him. She will try to punish him by denying him sex until he submits to her ideal or does what she wants him to do. She will continue this game for days or weeks when she feels it necessary to make a point or whip him into submission. She is satisfied if the black man literally comes limping back to her, crawling on his hands and knees, begging her to go to bed with him. The black man should beat her at her own game, and when she displeases him, he should deny her sex and see what happens. He will see fireworks like he never imagined. She is much more vicious when under the pressure of lack of sexual expression and is known to act like a plumb fool if her bottom is not happy. I'm gonna just say I can attest to this past paragraph she just said, because I done stopped having sex with an ex before, and boy, when I tell you that she was wildin'. Another truism is that if she continues to deny her man sex for an inordinate length of time, but continues to live with him, sleep in bed with him every night, dress in the same room and slightly tease him and still say no, she may want him to overpower her physically and take it. She wants him to be ravished sometime, even if she claims it against her wishes. The black man should remember that if he is familiar with her schedule and she's not seeing anyone on the side, she is also punishing herself when she denies him sex. This is not to say that she wants to be viciously raped, but she does want her man to let her know that the pleasures of her vagina are a prized possession to him. She wants him to be willing to fight for it if necessary. Sometimes she says no for so long that she doesn't know how to get out of it and say yes. So if he takes it, it is easier on her and solves her problems of how to get back in the good with him. This is a very warped perception, but that's how it is. She does not mind being treated like she is the black man's property at the time. In fact, sex is about the only time she succumbs to the wishes of the black man and is in submission to him. However, this kind of cooperation does not extend beyond the bedroom, and her misty-eyed surrender is soon forgotten about 10 to 15 minutes after the act is over. By the time she is dressed, she is back to her old self again. He still ain't right. It also is not always necessary for the black woman to reach climax when she has sex with the man. What she longs for and enjoys the most is the closeness and direct attention she receives from the black man during the sex act itself. She has him all to herself and is connected to her body for the purpose of sheer pleasure. A pleasure she is sure he has never known. She actually believes that her vagina and body is the only aspect of her being that gives her existence any real value. She is at a loss as to why the black man would desire another woman after she lets him enter her body. She has been brought up to believe that and has been impressed by American culture that her vagina is the only real thing she has to offer and negotiate with throughout her entire life. When all else fails, she can offer a man her body, and one of them is bound to accept it, either for free or for pay. If she does it right, she can use it for barter and exchange. Marriage for her is an acknowledgement that she will be with one man and he will be with one woman, her. She is more apt to accept the rules of marriage contracts manufactured and compiled by American government officials than to just accept the black man's word that he is making a marital commitment to her, to respect, protect, and provide for her. She wants some kind of legal appearing document that will give her recourse with the courts or police because she suspects that one day she will possibly need their help in dealing with him. Everything she's ever heard about him points to that conclusion. While the black woman enjoys sex, she does not want to have sex with the black man 25 days a month, leaving 6 days for her menstrual cycle. There is not enough time. She does not have the energy, and it will possibly break her body down. She can keep up with this pace if the sex is a quickie, but if it consists of the in-depth type of lengthy throwdown blacks are known to share in bed, although she wants to, she can't. However, if the black man should do something or say something she does not like, she will deny sex to him for that particular night at least. Depending on his reaction, the grudge could grow and last as long as she sees fit. She will run from him, sleep with the children, stay up until he goes to sleep, pretend she is on her period or sick, or says it's too painful. She uses these as a way to manipulate the black man into not wanting to have sex with her. She is also may start an argument to ensure that he will be so angry or disgusted with her that he has no desire for her. She refuses to acknowledge sex as an individual appetite akin to hunger and thirst. She wants to make it some kind of special ritual that she has power over. Power to give and power to take away. She will put a sensational award-winning performance in bed if she is trying to impress a new man that she really wants him, or to get him to really want her. She purchases the most scintillating lingerie, light candles, dims the lights, adorns sweet-smelling perfumes, cooks special dinners, goes nude, flutters her eyelashes, uses her body provocatively, looks seductive and markets her idea and promotes her sex any way she decides. Sometimes all of this is done before she gets married to the man. After marriage, the meals, sexy bedclothes, rub-downs, and instant sexual response may cease. She tries to make the black man think that she will always and forever cater to him and make him comfortable in and out of bed. But once she gets him, she slows down at first and then stops completely. After this point, she attempts to use her affection as a means to negotiate whatever she wants. If she gets what she wants, she will occasionally give him the attention he wants. As time goes by, it takes more and more to get her to cooperate sexually. It is almost like blackmail. Most of them want it as much as he does. Others claim it's something they tolerate just to please him. Obviously, that was not the way she started out, or the man would have never gotten with her. Ever so often, especially these days, when gay liberation is prevalent, the black woman will decide, due to her failed encounters with black men, that she will no longer want to be a woman, and instead wants to be a man. She is then classified as lesbian, and if she goes all the way masculine, a dyke or a butch. She may cut her hair short, start dressing in a masculine way, talk hard, take hormones, and grow a beard or mustache and vie with real men for attention and affection of women. Her idea is based on her belief that she knows how to treat a black woman better than a black man. She thinks she knows where to touch a black woman to make her feel good and how to satisfy her more proficiently than a man. She seeks to intimidate a black man by her presence, representing an unfamiliar foe. I'm going to read that again. She seeks to intimidate the black man by her presence, representing an unfamiliar foe, and will become violent if provoked. She thinks that her choice is normal and that her desire to be a man and love other women is a genetic fluke of nature and one that she has no control over. She thinks it's physical instead of mental. In no way she admits that her choice is the result of her absolute frustration with the black man. While claiming to hate men, she tries her best to emulate them in every way available to her. The lesbian black woman has arrived at her final limit and literally blows a fuse in her brain which blocks her out of her real gender and replaces it with a masculine role. Of course, just as a male homosexual, she overdoes it and makes herself a spectacle that is not welcome among civilized people. She is rough and tough and ready to battle. Again, this demonstrates her prayer for a protector. She is very protective of her female lover and is very territorial. Since she is mutually aware of the deceptions of the black woman's behaviors, she has less patience than a black man when her woman starts a problem. She is quick to nip it in the bud, sometimes physically attacking her to quench the transgressions or insurrection. She is tougher on her woman because she knows, since she is really just a woman herself, the secret agenda of the black woman and knows exactly what's going on and doesn't go for it. The lesbian black woman is a double bind because she can wear men's clothes, talk like one, take steroids or hormones to resemble one, and develop other masculine traits. She can never really get very far from her own memories of her life as a woman. She can only block out so much without losing her mind. The lesbian black woman is repelled by a secret normal looking black woman who practices lesbianism. They prefer to keep their deviant sexual preferences to themselves and continue to act feminine. The full-blown lesbians continue to act feminine. The full-blown lesbian black woman is to be pitied. She represents a huge problem that ultimately the black man must confront. She is the most unhappy and frustrated of them all. She is far away from reality and transforms herself to represent what she doesn't understand, which is how to be a black man. She is trying to deal with a human being that she understands, another woman. Like herself, she knows that, try as she may, she does not have a penis and will never have a real one. So her insecurity about her mate does not change. She must be ever watchful that a brave penis-toting black man does not get close to her woman. Lesbianism has nothing to do with them obtaining a higher or better level of sexual satisfaction, and a lesbian black woman can be mastered just like the rest of them. She needs a special exorcism. Black women with normal sex drives who desire and pursue men are glad that their sexual organ anatomy is designed differently than a black man's, because if she too had a visible penis, the black man would be quite surprised to see how often during the day she had an erection. Consequently, the black woman's clitoris, which is referred to by some scientists as a miniature penis, is not visible on the outside in that way. She has the same reaction to an attractive male or list of other sexual stimulants as the black man does. And yes, she masturbates as often, if not more often than he does. Black women do not discuss Black women do not discuss how or how often they masturbate. Masturbation is something that none of them want to readily admit to. It's too base to discuss, too uncool, some things can be omitted. It's 2021, man. You can go on Twitter any time of the day now, and I'm pretty sure you can stroll past a random woman letting you know about her sexual explorations of herself. So that might be a little outdated, but I'm pretty sure there's still some women out there that try to hide it. Matter of fact, I know it is. When in pursuit of an actual one-on-one sexual encounter with a man, the black woman is very driven. She will wait for countless hours, stand out in the cold or rain, buy anything she thinks will help her achieve what she wants, and gets real raw in her offering. She goes into great extremes boldly and outspokenly when it comes to hooking up with the man she wants to get in bed. She will flirt, use innuendo, raunchy language, expose her body, sit with her legs open, stick out her tongue, or do anything else she thinks will get her message across. She is very adept at offering herself up for sex. Woe to the black man who refuses or reflects her sexual invitation. She then has the capacity to become a raging maniac. Her sexual program is very fragile. She will attack the man verbally, possibly publicly, and tell other men and women to charge him with being a sissy. While she reserves the right to pick and choose which man she wants to sleep with, she does not agreeably permit the black man to exercise the same right, especially if she has chosen to be her next victim. I'm sorry, especially if she has chosen him to be her next victim. She considers a refusal for sex as the ultimate insult that is not without penalty. Not all black men go for sex thrown his way by women he is not responsible for. The black woman should be encouraged in the idea that her body will not get her everything and everyone she wants. She must be taught, being the right kind of woman, that she cannot have the sex she wants with the black man. This requires self-control on the part of the man and selection based on qualifications, not looks. She will respect him more if he behaves in such a way as to not function like all of his brains are behind his fly. He is under no obligation to prove his manhood by bedding down with every female who throws herself at his way. He is much too precious for that. His choices must be based on much more than a brief thrill. He must communicate security to the black woman through touch, not always sex. Touch, caressing, stroking, and lots of hugging. To be safely encircled in the arms of a black man is a more effective way to show caring and affection than sex is. The black woman is sore, and her wounds are tender and exposed. She longs for the healing touch of a black man to absorb his strength as a healing balm. A salve. Let me see. Declension. Oh, so a salve is an ointment cream or bath for ointment cream or balm for soothing, healing, or calming effects. So okay, I'm gonna read that back. She longs for the healing touch of a black man to absorb his strength as a healing balm. A salve. The black man's brain, activated by electrical current. The black man's brain, activated by electrical current, is able to transmit the power of his electricity to the black woman to increase her energy and power to function. When the black man and the black woman are in love and grooving, they are able, through touch, to transfer this powerful current back and forth between them on a mental, physical, and emotional level. Ideas, sex, feelings. The black woman's emotional state is the most difficult to penetrate with electricity or pain. The black man conceivably needs a crowbar type tactic to pry up the veneer of falsehood and insecurity the black woman uses as a shield, a wall to protect her from all the things that terrify her and all the things that cause her intense pain on the inside. But she is not immune to the unyielding determination of a black man who accepts the task of putting the black woman back on course as his responsibility. The black man is a powerful unit of life by nature. He is forgiving and is only seeking peace. He wants to design his world to eliminate discord and disunity. He wants to design his world with his black woman and black children where there is no decay. He should consider his sexual organs as precious as the black woman considers hers. She will respect that, and she will make whatever changes are necessary if she understands that her cooperation will determine whether or not she continues to receive sexual gratification from her man. Alright, so that will conclude chapter 15, her sex. She covered a lot in there. She covered how black women use sex as a weapon. She covered how the mistakes black women often make in choosing a man to mate with, premarital or not. She addressed people faking desire while having sex. She addressed same sex within the black woman. She discusses the pleasure of sexes. And she concluded with the black man's responsibility in staying in control of the sexual interaction between the two parties. That being said, the next chapter is chapter 16. Chapter 16 is The Other Woman. Now that one, it's going to be very interesting to read, and I'm probably sure it's going to be interesting for you to hear. Mostly because today, 2021, in 2021, women are trying to make a demand that a black man or any man should only be with one woman. And although that's wishful thinking, there's been very, very minuscule amounts of men that dedicated their lives to one woman for the entirety of their lives. The only reason I say minuscule is because I didn't live through every man's life to know the stats. And not a lot of people would probably admit to that if they did a survey. So who can really ever know? But we can assume based on statistics, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Yep. The Other Woman. It's gonna get deep. With that being said, we are now done with another ColeLogic experience. Appreciate y'all for sharing this book with me. If you appreciate what's going on, hit the link, the solo link at the bottom. They got all the links that you need to see to get to me. That is my Twitters, Facebooks, Instagrams, YouTube, website, universcode.design. What else I got? Oh, and where you can also get the audio versions of the podcast and a page on my website, but it's also on all DSPs as well, whichever place you listen to. Yeah, and if you made it this far, shout out to if you made it this far. If you made it this far, put something in the comments. If you agree, disagree, dislike this video, share the video to somebody that need to hear this information. And yeah, we out.